I'm the Frost. We have Johnny, and a special guest this week, Striker.
I mean,
How are
not
you?
only is he a special guest, he is the original, or first, Hall of Fame inductee to the Empire Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And he had quite a surprise for us at the HallisCon.
It was. It was a treat.
Yeah, I tried to surprise everybody. It's about a year and a half. Come out, got in the battle royal, put the mask on, won it, popped the mask off. You know, I'm all about surprises nowadays. You know, it's like, can't stay away, I guess. Never say never, huh?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that battle royal, is 10, 15 men, I can't remember that count. But it came down to you and Maddox Jones. Like,
I know. I mean, we've seen that a time or two, right?
Right. I mean, and both people are returning to the Empire ring for the first time in over a year. Do you think he had any idea it was you under that mask?
No, I don't think he did until right there at the very end. I seen him make eye contact with me and kind of cut his head over a little bit. I seen it for a second, and then he realized he's got work to do no matter who it is. I think if, you know, honestly, I'll say it here. If it wasn't for Kenny, the sign guy out there mouthing, I probably would have been thrown completely out. I probably wouldn't have got him. I just we've both been gone for a while, but he slipped up and got worried about Kenny, and I snuck up on him, tossed him out. And so I take advantage of all I can, really.
Which I want to throw thanks out to Kenny and all the fans from Oklahoma City that drove the 2 hours to McAllister for that HallisCon.
Yes.
Yes. We don't do this without our fans, and for them to show that they're willing to drive that 2 hours, it's just amazing. Hopefully we picked up some new fans there in McAllister, but definitely got to thank the guys that drove the 2 hours, because I know it was McAllister, Crazy, Stacy drove, and I noticed a couple others that I don't remember their name, but like there was a good handful of people that drove.
Oh yeah.
To McAllister. Yeah, I know Kenny got to see Rita Repulsa, but they drove for that show, and that's awesome of our fans to do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's great. When you get a following like that and they travel with us, it makes it that much more special. And it makes us that much more to do because we feel like we owe them more for following us and doing that. And it's great. And again, like you said, thank them so much for what they did for us.
It's really good seeing the support from the fans. Like it really is. It gives you that more of a drive to want to be better, put on better.
Yeah, definitely does.
So, Danny, you were the ref for most of the night. What was your thoughts during that battle royal? Because I know it was a lot to keep up with the guys coming out and stuff.
Why? It was wild. I definitely got my steps in for the day in one match, for sure. It was great action. I mean, it was nonstop all the way around, down to the last minute or two when it was Stryker and Maddox. Like there, it got methodical a little bit there. Like you could tell that they were like, it's like you said, there was a moment where they made eye contact and it got a little bit more serious. You could feel it. And then the reveal at the end, you had me. I'm kneeled down on the side of the ring, just like I remember the match that when you retired. I was there for the show. It was a wonderful match then. So to see you come back and win the Battle Royal, it was amazing. Like I said, kudos to we actually, and as well as we had some first-hand appearances in this Battle Royal. We had some new faces in the Battle Royal making their debut. So the Battle Royal gave us a lot to strive to the future with, just from the people who participated, the winner of the match itself, leading into later of the night. Like it was a great match to start the show.
And then after that, we had the Crash Bros take on Deacon Hendricks and Floyd Maestrom. Floyd was fighting to be part of God's work, or showing off his skills to be part of God's work.
That seemed like it was a slight, some type of an initiation match almost, per se, you could call it. It was out there. It was a match for sure. It was a lot of impact, a lot of moves being taken place. You know, you got pirates in the ring. You don't really know what's going to happen. So.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the Pirates, they had Marvelous Mike Andrews outside with them. Another guy that we haven't seen in forever. Like, we haven't seen him since Leo Fox was last with Empire, because that was Mike's main character or client.
Yep.
I know I heard Badger James tell Mike that they were only giving it or only with him because he was paying the bar tab that night. Striker, did you see any of that match, or were you getting prepared for your main event match?
I seen a little bit of it, and you got to give it to all those guys. The Pirates guys, man, they have climbed the ladder so much as a group, but as separate too. I mean, they are, you always have groups sometimes. This is not knocking anybody. This is all through time where you separate your group and there's always one or two might fall off. And these guys aren't. These guys are fighting, scratching, going all the way to the top and as a group and singles too. And I love that about them. And I did see like Floyd's doing real good. Deacon, he's changed a little bit since I came. He's growing up. And this guy's it was what I seen, just a little bit of it. But yeah, I seen it. It was good. I really liked the enthusiasm and athleticism, and them guys are just working and busting their tail ends and doing good. Hey, kind of sketchy with Mike out there, but we'll take it.
Isn't it always a little sketchy when Mike's around, though?
Yeah, always.
So you got to keep that. I've learned from seeing him in the past. With him around, you got to keep a swivel.
And so the Crash Bros, which is Badger James and Trench Blythe, actually won that match. And again, after that match, we had another beatdown. We didn't really touch on the after the Battle Royal, but Lucian directed Maddox to beat down Striker before we knew it was Striker. After that tag, Burnham directed Deacon Hendricks to attack Mainstrom.
Yeah, it was very, very unexpected. I thought Mayfield did fine for himself, or Maystorm, did fine for himself, and I guess they felt different. He didn't. I guess he didn't follow the pages of the good book well enough, and yeah, he got left in the ring by himself, laid out.
I mean, they lost the match, and they blamed Mainstream, so
they did.
You can't join the organization. I'm not sure what they're going to call it. To me, it's kind of a cult-like, but you can't join if you're not going to hold up. I'm sorry, Danny, I didn't hear what you said.
I hope we can say cult in 2024. People might take offense to those things nowadays, and it's all weird.
All right. We also had Maddox Jones against Adrian Vega. Striker, let's hear your thoughts on that match if you got to see any of it.
I didn't get to see much of it live. I've seen some footage on it like that. I think Maddox is doing real good. Like I said, it's been over a year. I guess September was a year he's been out. He came in. Vega, of course, is one of my students. I trained Vega to begin with and was starting his training. And they did really good. I think Maddox looks like he might got kind of frustrated a little bit here and there just because, he has been gone. And since he left in a year, I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but Adrian Vega in a year has grown leaps and bounds. And he's done that. He's been going down to Texoma and training with those guys some, with Fuego and D'Lo Brown. And he's learning. You can tell he's learning. And I think that match probably could have been a little bit better as far as, I don't know for sure, just a connection with the crowd. But that could be too, but you got to understand, like we talked about, this is a new crowd. A lot of them were new, so that's not on them. That's something we got to, when you go to towns, is learn. And those two guys, I mean, Maddox has been doing it, Lord, 12 years now? And I guess Vega's been a few years. So, I mean, it's still a lot of room to grow, both of them. But I think it's a very good match, very good return from Maddox. He looks real good. And I think he's going to be, if he sticks with it again, stays in there, I think he's going to be a really, really good ring general, what he's learning. And Adrian Vega, I think we got to keep our eyes on him because I really do believe he's just got a door to open up. He's going to be gone, doing real good with it.
You see, watching it from behind the hard cam, I just thought Maddox was angry, maybe built up frustration from not winning the Battle Royal because he thought he had that win there. Yeah. And you mentioned Vega's going down to Texoma Pro, training with Fuego and them. He also went out to Tennessee and trained with Kerry Morton. And he seems great. Right. So, yeah, Vega's definitely working on his craft, trying to make himself better, and that can only be great for the Empire fans and
definitely
people getting in the ring with him.
Definitely.
One thing I can say about Vega is a bit of a shoot here. I've known him for outside of professional wrestling for about 7-8 years, and he's got a drive that's once it's ignited, it's ignited. It's not something just you can put out. So if he's got his head to it, he's got his heart to it, there's nothing that's going to stop him. He's just going to climb and climb and climb until he's hit the top, and then he's going to punch through the ceiling and keep going.
I believe it because he does that. But when I brought him in to train, he was driving down here to McAllister from Shawnee, and we were working him. He just kept saying, "I want more, I want more, I want more." And the only thing, and he's still this way, is we all have to be our own worst critic, but he goes a little far with it. Like he won't take where he's doing good and you're telling him, hey man, you're doing a great job. He won't take that, and he wants to do better and he gets down on himself. So you got to kind of keep him level-headed. And I don't mean level-headed as ego. I mean level-headed of not in the dumps on himself. You got to make sure he stays up because he's worth it to be up, but he don't think he is sometimes on his own. And so you have to really, he's one I had to really work with on that because he would do good working out and training matches and stuff, but he'd think he stunk it up and be mad. It's like, no, dude. I mean, we all learn every match, but I don't tell everybody you did a great job. But so, I mean, no, if we don't learn something every match, we're not learning. But like with him, I would tell him you did good. We got things to learn, but that doesn't mean you're doing bad. That means that's what we're here. Everybody has to understand that when you're training, that's what it's for. That's when you get it broke down to things you did good, the things you did wrong, the things you got to learn. And that's what training is. And I had to get that through. So he came out of that match down on himself. I had to pull him, talk to him. Hey, man, you're doing okay. You're doing better than you think you are. You just got to believe in yourself like everybody else does.
He's amazing. He really is.
And that was our last match before the intermission, which for our fans in attendance, Jake Hager did free selfies with people in attendance, took videos with a couple of people, and I was taking the pictures for people, so I got to sneak in and in between him taking pictures, have small conversations with Hager. That's cool. Told him I felt cheated because I spent money to get his autograph and photo earlier. And he's like, got to make money somehow.
Right.
But yeah, I will add the promo he did before the intermission so that people can see why he did that for free. Did you guys have much interaction with Hager or any fun, cool stories of your interaction with Hager?
I met him. I shook his hand. Same as most people that are from my generation. It's like, hey, you were a big part of my teenage years watching wrestling. I mean, because you were. That's when you were there when I was a teenager. Of course, as an adult now, you're still there, but like that's when you broke through was when I was a teenager. So it stuck with me. Like I told him, it was his grit, that amateur style of wrestling that I love, just because it gets more of the feel to it. Sorry, I'm not locking my door. It was a cool experience. I mean, I enjoyed it. If it happens again, it happens again. If it doesn't, it's not something I would back and forth on per se.
Striker, you got any?
Yeah, he one thing that cracked me up about him, he was real nice in the locker room talking to everybody. And at one point during the show, guys were coming to the curtain from the matches. He had a basketball and he acted like he was throwing it at their faces, and they come to the door and they were all jumping and jerking out of the way, and he was just dying laughing at everybody and just being one of the boys, just ribbing back there. And then I said Sunday morning I picked him up and drove him back to Tulsa to his motel in Tulsa, and we talked, and it was like, you're talking almost 2-hour trip, and we talked maybe 15, 20 minutes wrestling. The rest of it was just life, asking about kids and asking about the grandkid. And I told him, I said, well, the one kid you took a picture with crutches, that's my grandson. He goes, oh, really? So he started asking all about him. And then, and he was just talking about life. And then, of course, he was trying to get home because of the hurricanes in Tampa. His wife had messaged him and told him she was flying home to get the kids because it was coming. And I guess her mother was watching the kids. And he said, man, can you take me to the motel? Because I've got to change my flight. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So, he was worried about that. But I just think it was cool that, we didn't bother each other about wrestling the whole time. It was just about life itself, fishing, football, and just life. And it was really cool. He was really cool about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the person behind the persona.
His hat. McAllister, please give it up for Jake Hager!
excited to be here. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I was at the airport by 5. I stood in customs and security line for an hour and a half. By 7 o'clock, I was on the plane and I was smiling because I knew I was coming to Oklahoma. I love this place, my home state. I grew up here. So much of who I am is Oklahoma, and I have so much love for this place and each one of you. Unfortunately, I got some bad news. I got to the building today, and I was told by the Oklahoma Athletic Commission that I can't wrestle tonight. Because I don't have a license, because they didn't get their cut and give me a piece of paper. The Oklahoma Athletic Commission says I am too unsafe to wrestle in front of you tonight. No, I truly do apologize, but that doesn't sound like safety. That sounds like unfair taxation. That sounds like hindering small businesses. That sounds like a government agency who has a history of abuse of power, who doesn't know anything about pro wrestling. And it also sounds like the Oklahoma Athletic Commission thinks we're dangerous. You know what I say? Yeah. We the people are dangerous. Now is not the time to keep people down. Now is the time to come together. Now is the time to lift people up. And I'm so sorry that I cannot perform in front of you tonight. But in order to make that up to you guys, we're going to do a free photo session in the ring right now. If you guys want to come and take a photo, do a video, whatever, we're going to have a great time. It's still going to be a great show. But we the people will come together regardless. Thank you, guys. If you guys want to come, form a line by the stairs.
So, after the intermission, Jake got through taking photos with everybody, which he joked that taking the photos lasted longer than his match would have if he was able to wrestle. We had Tank Bryson versus Anarchy. Very good match until Mike Andrews, who was out with Anarchy because he was a pirate, went to Yambag City on Tank, cost Tank the match, and then we had a celebrity in the audience that who got involved. Danny, what's going through your mind during that match?
Let's see. The match itself was great. Like Anarchy and Tank were going back and forth. I mean, good action. Up until the end of the match, it was, for me, it was very enjoyable to ref. Like they weren't really trying anything dirty on each other. They kept it very clean between the two of them until Mike. Yeah, after the match though, I don't know about all that. I still got a bit of a sore rib, per se. Yeah, no, I took a nice little kick to the chest and then a nice little baby stomp at the end by a pirate I don't really even know what reason, to be honest. I'm trying to make sure they you kick the guy. Why you kick the guy? There's no reason to kick the guy. I guess because it's after the match, you thought you can get away with a clean one on me, but yeah, they going.
Well, maybe you should lobby the Empire offices to get them fined then.
Oh, there's going to be repercussions. Now, you got to remember that I am an official in or out the match. You can't just go around thinking that it's okay, because it's not. Yeah, so yeah, I've got the meeting taken care of. I'll have the conversation, and we'll see what happens.
Which the celebrity I'm referring to actually drew Pinky in the Brain, and now Marvelous Mike has the bragging rights that, I mean, although he was a little unconscious, the same guy that drew Pinky in the Brain drew him.
Oh, it was a great picture.
And now is the time for the main event. It was Malachi versus you, Striker, for the world title. Like, just kind of talk us through it from your point.
You know, I came in and like I said, I won that battle royal, and I was excited about it. I get a title shot, and I thought, what's better than winning another championship, and this time in my hometown right here, because it don't happen that often. I mean, I haven't wrestled within an hour in McAllister probably 5-6 times, you know, in 25, 26 years. It's just nothing been here for me to do. And so I was excited to be a friend of the family, and then I got to noticing the ref here, like he just said, he was nowhere to be found. And automatically, all those years, you get to thinking something's not right, you know. And I knew we had another ref back there that's been reffing for Empire. You know, Irwin's been doing a great job for Empire reffing. He could have been an emergency ref immediately, been fine. We've done double duties before. And then as y'all saw, and John, you've seen, here comes Maddox Jones with a ref shirt on. Why? And then get right in the middle of my business. Now, I will say this. I'm making no excuses because Maddox Jones, because he did not interfere as far as my loss. He did not cause any problems. He was pretty strict right down the middle. He was really strict on me. But, you know, I went in that match a year and a half out. It'd been in April when we did the show for Travis. And we had that benefit show for him. It's April of last year. It's the last time I've laced him up. And so I got in there trying to thinking I could do that. But let's be honest, Malachi, multi-tag team champion in multi-promotions, your heavyweight champion. Those don't come easy. You work your tail in for that. And he's worked hard for that, and he's smart. He's a very smart wrestler in that ring. He could be a ring general and telling you what you're going to do. And he outsmarted me. He got me. He got me because I started to lose my temper on Maddox about just getting in my face about things. And then I was going to take, let's just be clear, I tried to hit 2 of my finishers, 2 strokes on Malachi, and both times he got out of it. One time he just come completely out of it. The second time he was smart enough that when he hit that mat, he found a way out of that ring. I can't pin him outside the ring. And he was outside laying there and Lucian's taking care of him. Smart. That's smart. And so there wasn't a third time. So I got frustrated, go for his mask. I thought, you know, it's about time somebody see who this guy is. And then Maddox gets in my face, and he's doing his job. Please, again, no excuses. Don't get me wrong. He was doing his job, telling me he's going to disqualify me if I don't quit. And being the smart wrestler that Malachi is, he swung me around right into that finisher, face first into that mat before I ever knew what happened. 1, 2, 3, it's over. I lost. Frustrating as hell, but also proud of Malachi, the champion as he is, because he worked hard, he worked smart, he did the right thing.
Yeah, I'd forgot to mention that Maddox was that ref. I mean, again, because Danny had been taking out the match before, and I'm surprised. And not that I don't trust Maddox, not that I don't think he'd be fair, but I'm surprised he called it down the center. Because how often in wrestling do you have special guest referees that call it right down the center?
Especially with the history that he has. That's the part there is the history between you two, and him to still have the morale and the honor to call it that far down the middle was really cool to see. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The moment he come out, I thought this is it. I'm getting screwed out of this one way or another. Him and Lucian's probably together. I honestly thought he's gonna walk out and join Lucian, join the Messengers. I just thought, here it is. You know, he's got me. But he didn't, and I'm proud of that. I really am. No matter what our differences are, it's like you said, it was fair and square, right down the middle. There was no question whatsoever about that match. It was clean.
And it was just a privilege to watch you wrestle again. So,
thank you. I appreciate it, man. I really did.
And you had, it seemed like your entire family there to cheer you on. And
right.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Did I hear Stryker get booed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Whenever I did the headbutt in the neither regions of Malachi, it turned real quick. It turned real quick.
I'm standing to the side, you know, clutching the ribs, and I just picked my head up. I'm like, are they booing him?
Yeah.
You see, there's
And
just
automatically the old me says, "Oh, this could be fun."
Well, I imagine. I can imagine.
There was just one guy off to the left hollering for Maelstrom, so I didn't even hear those boos or cheers. I was just like, enjoy the match in front of you. Do you not know how special this is? The guys came out of retirement for this one night only, and he's going against our champ. Come on.
As long as they're having fun, man, I don't care. That's all I want. As long as they paid their money to get in there and they can forget their reality for a few hours and we can make them forget it and enjoy our fun, let them do what they're going to do. I'm fine with it.
Right. No, all in all, it seemed like it was from start to finish. The crowd and the fans, like everyone around, just seemed like they were into it. There wasn't too many quiet moments per se.
No. Especially like we said, being new, and a lot of people didn't know anybody, so they had to pick it up. And that's a great job of the guys too, because they let them know real quick, what you're supposed to be doing out there, and they know. So we'll get it. We'll get a base. This crowd we had there will definitely be word of mouth, especially the locals. It'll be a word of mouth, And then they hear the other people that traveled, like we talked about, and they're talking to them out there, like, "Oh, you traveled? God, we need to start watching this." And so it's the best thing there is word of mouth.
Yep.
Right, and for the time slot, like the fans being loud and having travel, like that's still amazing. Because like I think bells started at 6 and it was slated from 6 to 9. Like pretty much the con closed at 5, I think, or something like that. Like most of the people there for the con had already left. Vendors were shut down. Like it was still great.
And even then, as they're shutting down, you can still kind of see them kind of looking over, like, what they got going on? Slowly inching their way over and kind of doing the whole peeking around oh, okay. So it was good.
Well, the guy that ended up drawing Mike Andrews was a vendor there doing caricatures and selling some of his art. So, like, one of the vendors came over and watched the show.
Yeah, it was and for me, like as a person outside of it, like as a person that's never been to a con before, I had a blast. Just because, like you said, Rita Repulsa was there, Pippi Longstocking. I mean, eventually you had Jake there, the guy from Pinky and the Brain. Like there was a lot of cool characters there. There really was. If you're from a specific generation, pretty much.
Yeah, but the guy that did the Pinky and the Brain wasn't even bragging that he did Pinky and the Brain. He was just there trying to sell his art and his caricatures.
Yep.
But you also had Creek Wilson there.
Yep.
Yes.
You had the 501st Star Wars Infantry.
Yep.
Some little lady was dressed as a Jawa, and she had to be burning up.
Had to be dying. Like me, I'm dying right now inside my car because I don't have the AC going. She had to be in a whole nother region of Southern Texas.
Yeah, she was pretty wild. At one point, when I first got there, we were sitting by the ring talking and everything, and I could feel somebody behind me and Levi. And I mean behind, I mean like if I would have swung my elbow, I'd have clocked him in the forehead. I'd turn around.
We've actually also already gotten our November flyer out, and that's the night everything changed for, and it's going to be at the Chicken Shack in Arcadia, Oklahoma.
Yep.
No matches announced there. Obviously, it's a little early for that. They will have that Sure Shot briefcase. But, yeah, I look forward to seeing you gents at October 19th if you both show. I know Danny's going to be there. So, any last words or any last thoughts?
Excuse me, apologies. I hope everybody who's watching, and you're enjoying the new vamp or the revamp or whatever you want to call us of Around the Colosseum. We appreciate you being here, Striker. Like the legend that you are. Like you, I mean, the boots that are laced because of you are an undisclosed number that no one can count. Like like I said, we've had the conversation. I've known about you for over 15 years now, and I lived in Texas. So it's an honor to have you on here. It's a privilege. I'm losing light now. Turn that on.
No, I appreciate that a lot, man. I do, and I just want to say thank you to all the fans that were there, and also to the ones that, when I had my retirement match and I got my career-ending match in 2022. I just don't want nobody to think that I'm crapping on that, because I'm not. That was a big, huge moment for me that day, and I try to stay away as much as I can, but I try to help Empire behind the scenes as much as I can. And I say this with no offense to anybody, but sometimes doing that is like having an alcoholic be a bartender. You're sitting there amongst it, but you can't be a part of it, and it kills you. And
Right.
So, and I appreciate the words. I appreciate how people just, I'm truly humbled by everybody's feelings toward me and the kind words and the remarks and everything, and just the respect I'm shown. And there's times where I don't feel like I deserved a lot of that. But there's times that I just want to make this business better. It's nothing about me. There's nothing more I can do in this business, but, and I've said this 1,000 times, is help elevate the younger guys and help these companies. And if I can't do that, then there's nothing else I can do. And I truly appreciate you guys having me tonight. I've enjoyed it, and I really do appreciate you guys.
All right. This has been Around the Coliseum with The Frost, our special guest, the Hall of Famer, Striker, and myself, Johnny. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, have a good night.